Hello, and welcome to another episode of It's Just Our Opinion. This is episode 25. I hope all of you have watched every one of them. If you hadn't, hey, it's on our Facebook page. Just scroll backwards and watch all of them. You don't want to miss any of them. Some of them are funny, some of them are kind of wacky, but you know, when you put them all together, the wackies and the funny ones, they all just make good ones. So I hope you'll go back and watch them. I hope you'll share this with your friends and neighbors and tell them about it. Let them come on the show and just watch what we're doing, because you know you could learn something. They could learn something. If not, what have you lost but time? But well, you know, since the last time we've had a show here, a lot has happened. The coronavirus, or commonly known as COVID-19, has taken over the United States. I mean, that's all that's on the news. That's all that you see in the paper. You can't even go to Walmart and stand in line without somebody mentioning the coronavirus. Now, if you will notice, though, now people are standing 6 feet apart now, and sometimes they'll shove that buggy until you try to get you to step up a little bit so you won't be so close. And that is a good idea. The social distancing thing is really good for this thing, because the further you can stay away from people, the less likely you will catch it if they have it. You know, that's something that we're all trying to practice as we get through this thing. And another thing, no matter who you shake hands with, which you shouldn't be doing right now, no matter who you pick up or help them do anything, when you get away from all that, you put that sanitizer on your hands. And more, I've got it in my car. I've got 2 bottles in my car. We've got it at work. We've got it everywhere. The other night I thought my wife had a bottle in bed just in case I reached over and touched her during the night, but you know, come to find out it wasn't a bottle of sanitizer. It was actually the remote for the TV. But you know, you never know. You can never be too cautious, because you never know who's got it. As President Trump has said over and over, this is an invisible enemy. We can't see it. We don't know who's got it. We don't know where it's at. I mean, it's invisible. So it's hard to fight. So we have to take precautions that the health department and other folks have given us, and that's the social distancing. When you sneeze, be sure to put your hand up like this. Don't just let it go flying everywhere like you usually do. And be sure and wash your hands. Wash them good. They say for 20 minutes, but 20 seconds. Now 20 minutes, that would be rough. But you know, I don't know about y'all, but we have a gas hot water heater. Now, you can't just turn the hot water on and keep your hands on there for 20 seconds, because it's going to burn. So you got to mix a little both. But they say 20 seconds. But now we use a lot of the hand sanitizer stuff too. And of course, you can't rub it for 20 seconds. It dries up too quick. But it's good. Carry it in your purse, carry it in your pocket. Guys, you know, this is crucial times for us here in America right now. For us to get over this, we've all got to work together and do our part. And we hope that you'll do that. I know we're practicing here, and so let's get through it together. You know, this thing has changed so much, especially right here in Alabama. I mean, it's changing all over the country, but right here in Alabama, you know, our runoff election was supposed to be March the 31st. Well, it's been moved up to July the 14th, and you know, that's a long way out. It gives candidates a lot more time to campaign and get out and see people and stuff. But you know, that wasn't the reason it changed. It was changed because of the virus. Most poll workers, not all of them, don't get offended, not all of them, but most poll workers are over the 60 and 65 age range. So they're the ones that's probably would be more likely to catch this virus if somebody come in and had it. So it was to protect the poll workers and the voters themselves when they come in. So Governor Ivey, that was a good move for you doing that, and we appreciate her doing that, because we need to protect each other. Now, talking about the elections, now we have a Senate runoff coming up, July the 14th. We got Coach Tommy Tuberville and former Senator Jeff Sessions. And I want you to know, I plan on trying to have both of those candidates on our show. We've had Coach Tuberville on, we actually had him on twice already. We've offered it to both candidates. I've been in contact with former Senator Sessions' camp, and they're trying to work out a date. We're hoping that we can have both candidates on here before July. And believe me, we got plenty of time now to work on it. So we're hoping we can do that. But back to the corona, how it's changed things. Our beaches are closed now. Governor Ivey closed her beaches. Florida beaches are closed. I mean, it's just hard, on the college kids and high school kids, all with summer breaks coming. If you'll notice, I'm sure you've seen a lot of them rush down to the beaches anyway and hung out for a while for spring break, and they just had a good time until they hammered it down and locked it down. So, I don't know what these other kids are going to do for spring break. I guess they'll just hold off till next year, but that was a good thing. The beaches, during spring break, they get so crowded, you can't have the 6 feet that you need. If you are, you're not having any fun. So you really, it's just hard for people to go to the beach and stay 6 feet apart. So, but that was a wise decision for Governor Ivey to do that, and we appreciate that, and appreciate the people that didn't run down to the beaches. A lot of those kids never realize that when they go down and they have fun, they're if the virus is there, they're going to bring it back to their parents, to their grandparents, to their younger brothers and sisters and stuff. So, it was no intention of them trying to harm anybody, I know, but they just wasn't thinking. And so, we got to be careful on what we do. The stock market bottomed out. I mean, it hit rock bottom there. I mean, for a while, but now the last few days, it's bouncing back up with the Senate and the House and the President all trying to work together to do this stimulus package where we can help businesses through this, help our citizens and all this. One of the things that's in this package, if it passes as it stands right now, that each individual will get a check for $1,200, and then your children will get a check for $500. Now, that don't mean you got to spend it on your kids. Kids got expenses they don't pay, so you can do that. But now there's a limit. I think anybody that makes over $75,000, they start prorating how you get that. So, but still, that's the way that the government's going to try to help ease through this, because a lot of people are out of work now. A lot of businesses have closed down. A lot of them have went on temporary shutdowns, and some of them are not getting paid. I mean, they can draw unemployment, but we all know unemployment, you can't live off unemployment. I mean, not and live decently. It just don't pay enough, for you to do that. And one of the reasons they don't pay a lot for unemployment, they want to encourage you to get back to work. But in times like this, you have no choice. You have to be off. If your plant or your business or wherever you work decides to do a temporary shutdown and for several weeks, then a lot of times you're just on your own. And so, but this stimulus package, if it passes, like I said, it's passed the Senate, got to go to the House and then the President sign. But they've all been working together. That's going to get you a check for $1,200 for every grown-up adult and $500 for your children. Another thing that's bad is we're talking about things closing. Here in Alabama, the restaurants. You can't go in a restaurant and sit down and eat now because it'd be hard to do the social distance, plus everybody in a closed area. If you're sick, you're going to sneeze and you're going to touch things. Now, so they have been shut down for a while. So, everybody's going through drive-thrus or calling for carry-out, and they meeting you at the door and handing you a sack and taking your money and stuff. And that's caused nearly a mini crisis itself, because a lot of women didn't know how to cook. They didn't know that they had to cook. And so now that the restaurants are closed and you have to go through drive-thrus and stuff, it's really put a burden on a lot, especially our younger generation. And I say the younger, the 20 to 40 age, where they've never had to cook because grandma always cooked or mama always cooked, and they could just show up at their house and eat. But really, to make things feel good, they all had jobs and they'd want to go out and eat. They'd sit down at McDonald's with the kids and let them play in a little plaything for an hour or two while they munched on some fries, or they'd go to Cracker Barrel or Chick-fil-A or somewhere like that and get those meals that's really good. Can't go in there and sit down now. You got to call and order. And so that's just a burden on some of them. A lot of the women have just decided, if I got to do all that, I might as well just cook. So there've been a lot of guys and families that's watching their spouse and their mom learn how to cook. I mean, recipe books. Who thought? We've been giving recipe books to these young couples for years, and they would just pitch a fit over them at the showers and stuff, and then they'd stick them in a drawer. I wonder how many have been pulled back out now, finding those recipes for that chicken casserole or that squash casserole, or there's just so many things that you can do with a cookbook. I bet there's been a few of these young ladies that's made cakes that never thought they'd make a cake. But it's kind of fun sometimes when you just decide you want to learn something that grandma knew. Will they keep it up after all this is over? Hey, I don't know. I can say this, my wife cooks about every Sunday. She just does a great job. The whole family comes over, and one of the things we learned about this several years ago when we got all this stuff started, is the food is so good, but we've been buying these styrofoam, these paper plates, because we sure hate to wash dishes when it's over. You get all these people together, you got a mess if we just like to chunk it at the end, and it's so much easier to do that. But anyway, all of this is just changing our whole life because of the coronavirus or COVID-19. But we will get over it. It's a very serious problem, but we always come together here in America and here in Alabama. We come together to try to work together to solve problems so we can get through it and get back to our daily lives. And this is just another example of something that we will get over, and we will move on, and before long it'll just be a memory and something we'll tell our grandkids about. So stick together, wash your hands good, stay safe, stay separated. I want to turn the page here just for another few minutes. This is 2020, the year of the census. Now, a lot of y'all watching this have not done your census form yet. Now, you've been mailed a little envelope telling you what your code is and how to go online and do it. And now, it only takes about 6 minutes to do it. You go on there and you count. It's so important that everybody go online and do this census. Now, if you don't go online, they're going to mail you a big old paper packet to do it. But right now, they want you to go online. That's the simplest way. Everybody nearly's got a computer or an iPad, or you got a phone you get on. I mean, I ain't seen nobody in a long time didn't have a phone. I see a lot of people got 2 phones. So there's no excuse not to do it. Counting, for us to be counted, Alabama stands a chance to lose a congressional seat, if we don't get everybody counted. And that's worth millions of dollars to the state, to have that extra congressional seat where we have representation in Washington, D.C. Every person, just for Alabama, every person that's counted is worth $1,567 to the state in federal grants coming to the state. So it's real important that you do that. And if you got any questions or you can't figure it out or something, you can go to census.com or .org, I actually believe it is, and they got steps through there that'll walk you right through it. But you should get the package in the mail, and when you do, if you go online, it'll walk you right through it. One of the easiest things you've ever done, and believe me, you'll be glad you did when the numbers roll in here in a few months and they see where everybody's counted. Alabama needs to be counted, and that's very important to us. So do your job, get this thing, go online, fill it out, and let's help everybody bring federal money into Alabama so that we can continue to give our citizens here the services that they want, the services that they deserve, and the services that they need. So I appreciate just considering doing that. And, on another subject here real quick, spring is here. We're actually going to have some 80-degree days in the next few days. I mean, here in March, some 80-degree days. Grass is growing. We had to go and buy a new lawnmower the other day. And so, it's everything's just, it's just getting here. Spring is my time of year. I love it. My wife loves it. And my grandkids love it because they make money mowing my yard. So, but this is just a good time. Get out and walk around. Stay away from folks. when you're walking, just get out in your yard and just walk around the house and exercise. Now, another good thing about this, the exercise, not only does it help you with your health, but now I've been seeing some stuff on Facebook where pictures of what people look like before they went to quarantine and what they look like after. And now, if any of that's true, you know, you'll see me here in a few months, instead of looking like I am now, I'll be swelled up. And I don't want to be that way, so I'm gonna walk. Now I get out walking the pasture. I got cows, and my cows love to see me walk around. I hope they good. You know, they don't never charge me or nothing. Get after me. They just kind of look at me when I walk. So I get my exercise, but y'all need to get yours too. But look, back to the coronavirus. As before I end, you know, it is really, really serious that we all take precautions to protect not only ourselves, but we protect our families. So whatever you do, try to social distance from other people that's not in your immediate family. Be sure and keep your hands clean. If you sneeze or cough, do it in your arm so it can't spread the germs. You know, let's take this serious and let's try to whip this thing quick so we can get back to our normal routines. Now look, I've said a lot of stuff here today, you know, and some of it's, you know, I hope you learned something and all, but just remember that everything that I have said, it's just my opinion.